When you first stumble upon something as outrageous as a Lamborghini V10 engine listed on Aliexpress for a fraction of its real-world price, your heart does two things at once. It skips a beat in excitement and then races with suspicion. This is the kind of listing that makes you pause, hover over the images, and tell yourself, there's no way this is real. But still, deep down, you feel the pull. The pictures look convincing. The description sounds official enough. There's even a handful of positive reviews that seem to tell you, go ahead, this is your golden ticket to owning one of the most celebrated engines in supercar history. But the deeper you look, the more the cracks start to appear. The Lamborghini V10 is not just any power plant. It's an engineering masterpiece that has powered icons like the Gallardo and Huracan, producing that screaming, high-pitched roar that turns heads on streets and racetracks alike. It's hand-built, meticulously tested, and embodies decades of Italian motorsport heritage. The real-world value of such an engine, even used, sits comfortably in the tens of thousands of dollars. A brand new one can cost more than a well-equipped family SUV. So when you see it on AliExpress for a price that barely matches the cost of a high-end gaming PC, something doesn't add up. And in the world of exotic car parts, too good to be true almost always means too good to be real. The photos are the first thing that lure you in. They're crisp, professional shots, exactly the kind of images you'd expect to see on a legitimate motorsport supplier's website. The angles are perfect, the lighting makes the metallic surfaces gleam, and the branding is clear enough to make you believe you're looking at the genuine article. But here's the problem. These images are almost certainly lifted from somewhere else. Sellers on platforms like AliExpress often scrape photos from manufacturers, auction houses, or legitimate dealers and reuse them without permission. To the untrained eye, it all looks legit. But to someone who's been around enough scams, those perfect stock-style pictures are the first warning bell. Then comes listing description. It's oddly brief for something so valuable. Real engine listings, especially for something as exotic as a Lamborghini V10, are full of technical specifications, mileage if it's used, engine code, compression ratios, and often a serial number to prove authenticity. But this listing? It's vague. It uses the right buzzwords: original, tested, ready to ship, but avoids hard details. It's the scammer's trick. Say just enough to lure you in, but leave out anything that could be used to trace or verify the item. And yet, those positive reviews sitting at the bottom of the page make you hesitate. You read them and think, well, if other people got theirs, maybe it's real. But that's the thing. Those reviews can be fake, recycled from unrelated products, or even paid for. On some marketplaces, sellers will ship small, cheap items to real customers just to generate verified reviews, then later switch the listing to a high-ticket item like an engine. The trap is set when the price is low enough to tempt you into acting quickly. This isn't just a random number, they've chosen it carefully. Too low and it screams scam to everyone. Too high and they won't get enough bites. But just under that mental threshold where you think, maybe I should take the chance, that's where they set it. The goal is to push you into making a decision before you think it through, before you ask yourself how it's even possible that a 5.2-liter Italian masterpiece, the heart of a car worth hundreds of thousands, could be sitting in a warehouse somewhere, waiting for you to buy it like it's a pair of sneakers. If you actually went through with the purchase, the scam could unfold in several ways. The most common is that nothing ever arrives. You get a tracking number, but it's fake, or it tracks a small package sent to a random address in your city to make it look like something was delivered. You open a dispute with the platform, but the seller either disappears or stalls long enough that you miss the refund window. In other cases, you might actually get a package, only to find it contains something worthless: an engine cover, a block of scrap metal, or even just empty boxes. In either case, you're left chasing a refund through a maze of bureaucracy while the seller closes shop and reappears under a new name. What's worse is how convincing these operations can be. Some scammers go as far as creating fake supplier websites or LinkedIn profiles to back up their listings. They'll send you photos on request, again, usually stolen from real dealerships, and might even agree to a video call, showing you a completely different engine in some workshop. The moment you send the money, their tone changes. Emails slow down, responses get vague, and before long, they vanish altogether. The nightmare isn't just losing your money. It's that sinking feeling of being played, of realizing you ignored all the red flags because you wanted to believe. The real-world value check is brutal. Look at legitimate sources. A wrecked Huracan at an auction might still sell for over 100,000 USD, and that's with a damaged body and interior. A shop specializing in exotic car repairs might list a used Lamborghini V10 for 35,000 USD to 50,000 US dollars, and that's before factoring in shipping, installation, and potential repairs. If the seller isn't asking anywhere near that, it's not because you found a miracle deal, it's because you found bait. Talking to actual mechanics and exotic car specialists paints an even clearer picture. They've seen it before. Customers rolling into the shop with a deal they found online, only to discover they bought either a completely different engine or something that doesn't run at all. Fraud investigators will tell you that platforms like Aliexpress aren't built for high-ticket transactions like this. Their protection systems might work well for smaller consumer goods, but for something worth tens of thousands, the cracks are wide enough for scammers to slip through. And beyond the money, there's the bigger problem. These scams erode trust in the car enthusiast community. For every person who gets burned, there's another who becomes overly suspicious of any good deal, making it harder for legitimate sellers to move their products. It's a cycle that hurts everyone except the scammer. They operate in the shadows, shifting between accounts and listings, always ready for the next unsuspecting buyer. So when you see that Aliexpress Lamborghini V10, know that it's not just a product listing, it's a carefully constructed illusion, designed to tap into your dreams and turn them into someone else's payday. The images, the reviews, the price, they're all pieces of a trap. And the only real way to win this game is not to play it at all. Because in the world of exotic engines, there are no shortcuts. There's the slow, expensive, legitimate path, and there's the fast, cheap, fraudulent one. And the latter always ends the same way, with your money gone, your hopes crushed, and your inbox full of unanswered messages.